of you are getting your butts kicked by birch pollen.
But it's like, why can two people walk together outside and one person struggles with allergies and another doesn't? And really, the strength of our immune system is really a window into how healthy our body is.
Yeah,
and
you not get all snarfled and snuffleupagus, and I feel like I stuck my face into a cat. Properly adapting is way different than compensating to the environment.
Well, it's reactionary.
Exactly.
Right? It's our body's reacting to something rather than being proactive.
Exactly. What's one of the best things to microdose your body to pollen?
Oh, good. Because I was like, when can I say this? Like, this is where honey comes in.
Yes.
But it's got to be
Well, what kind of honey?
A local honey.
Welcome back to the Prime Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Skip Wyss, and I am here, as always, with the amazing, fabulous Dr. Julie Wyss. Dr. Julie, you look great today. I've got a little paisley on. I'm digging it with the animals. This is actually one of my favorite Robert Graham shirts. It is. It's called Animal House. It's a size and a half too big since I've lost all my weight. But you know what? It's still one of my favorites. And you've got this setup on.
What's wrong with
very pretty,
setup?
Very cute. I think you look awesome. I think that this is going to be a timeless episode.
Because we look like we're from the 70s?
You're dang right. Yep, a little bit of the old Sonny and Cher action here. Now, Dr. Julie, today, it is that season. We are jumping into the snuffly versions of pollen, allergies, and everybody dealing with pollen in their life. Their children, themselves. I mean, you walk outside, you come back in, it looks like you're covered in yellow from head to toe.
Or it looks like you just watched or like read a romance novel.
Well, yeah,
or was
you
on
look
the Hallmark Channel.
Read a romance novel. Do you mean like all hot and flushed or what?
Like a sad. Oh yeah, I guess that wouldn't be like.
Yeah, but
sad,
you read romance novels. I know what's going on there.
Crying
a little. Oh, you mean like the a little
sad,
bit.
Sappy,
Yep, the sad, sappy romantic comedies, the Adam Sandlers of the world when they're sappy. Now, let's talk about some allergies, Dr. Julie. And we get this a lot in our office here at Prime Family Centers of Chiropractic. We've been dealing with patients with allergies for a decade and a half. Being somebody that has struggled with allergies in their life, been through this, dealt with hay fever, itchy, watery eyes, can't breathe, like had the time test done. I mean, I've had a lot done to my body when I was younger. A lot.
I think there's lots of misconceptions around allergies because I mean there's different kinds of allergies, right? I think today we're talking about sensitivities, we're talking about environmental allergies. But it's like, why can two people walk together outside and one person struggles with allergies and another doesn't? And really, the strength of our immune system is really a window into how healthy our body is and how our body is able to handle all of the stressors that's coming at it. So if you struggle with severe allergies, that should be like a red light letting you know that, hey, there's probably something else going on, or my body is super stressed that, okay, maybe this, runny nose, itchy eyes is just a little bit piece of the picture.
Well, that kind of dovetails into our first question, my first point today. I've got 4 to 5 points depending on where we get here. Number one is, right off the bat, is why do we have allergies in the first place? Because exactly like you said, why can I breathe the exact same air as you not get all snarfled and snuffleupagus, and I feel like I stuck my face into a cat, which I can't stand cats. So why do I have that feeling? So why do we have allergies in the first place?
It's our body's response. Right. So we can think about this. I like the super simple. I know you like the science explanation. So I know that will come. I know that will come after.
Yeah.
So again, like I just said, it's really how our body is responding in that environment. And so if our body can't take in the same air as somebody else, and when we take in that air and our body is reacting in a certain way, and it's those itchy, watery eyes or that runny nose, we have sensitivities. Well, why do I have that allergy? Well, my body doesn't like it. It's reading it as a foreign substance, and our body is going to do what it needs to do to get rid of that said thing, right? Which is the runny nose to push that pollen, the ragweed out. Our eyes are going to water, or you're going to cry. They're going to be blurry because it's putting a protective layer. It's trying to put that film over our eyes to keep that stuff out. But why are you responding that way and I can be fine?
Well, I'm hypersensitive to my environment, right? So all of this comes back to any health concern, whether we're talking diabetes or heart issues, anything. It's your environment. It's your body's adaptation or lack of adapting, which causes it to compensate to its environment. That's what's happening. And in your case, I love the fact that you brought that up, that the symptoms of allergic reactions or sensitivities, pollen sensitivity, is watery eyes, mucousy nose, cough, just scratchy throat, scratchy eyes, all this kind of stuff, gummed up ears with wax. It's all a response to an environment that your body is seeing as hostile. And so we have to look at this from a root cause of, okay, why are we having this hostility in the first place? Why are we perceiving our environment as foreign, which it's not because we're born into it? Or are there stressors in our environment that are truly foreign to our body, that our body is mounting a allergic response, or you would say it is an immune response, just in a different form, to keep ourselves adapting and compensating in this environment? Now, I want to talk about something really important here, the difference between an adaptation and a compensation, because properly adapting is way different than compensating to the environment.
Well, it's reactionary.
Exactly.
Right? It's our body's reacting to something rather than being proactive. Exactly.
So your body is now compensating, and it's just like that in a relationship too. And we've talked about that. If I compensate to one of your, I don't want, for lack of a better term, let's just call it a question or an ask, not a demand. But if I compensate to your questions instead of actually adapting and learning how you work inside our environment of our house, compensations always lead to envy. It always leads to bad relationships. The same thing in your body. Compensations to your environment will always lead to excess symptoms, which suck. All right. So your body's going to naturally try to wall these areas up. So in that case, like when we have mucus, if we have watery, itchy eyes, is that a normal functioning immune system, or is that an actual compensation and the immune system's not working correctly?
That's a trick question.
It is a trick question. Yeah. It is a trick question.
So we want our body to mount those responses.
Yeah.
But that's where ultimately we have to start checking in of like, okay, is it just this? Or are there other things happening within my body?
Exactly.
So the itchy runny nose, yeah, we can say we have allergies, but let's figure out a little bit more parts of that puzzle.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. I agree. It's double-sided. We have this adage all the time. We've talked about this too. You eat one food, I eat the other food. I get sick, you don't get sick. Who's got a better functioning immune system? Usually the person that gets sick pukes it up and gets rid of it. So if we come back to your point on when you were talking about mucus and nose and eyes watering, that's your body's response to getting the stuff that it's seeing as sensitive or foreign out. So why in the world would you ever want to shut that down? Because the actual allergic response can be so severe that it could be life-threatening. And in that case, we do want to shut the body's immune response down so you don't die. Like that, the number one thing, we don't want to die. Like, we're not dying here. Self-preservation is key. But in most circumstances, especially to environmental stressors like pollen, I'm not bringing up food allergies here, like pollen. Pollen is usually not life-threatening because it is a natural occurring substance in the environment. But these receptors to those pollen allergies or those pollen allergens are where? They're not in your nose. They're not in your throat. They're in your gut. So what is actually causing these allergies to happen to pollen? It's a leaky gut. It's a hypersensitive gut. And that's an issue.
Right.
So we have to look at now, how do we get the gut health back? What can actually be helping with the gut health? And how do we restore that? That is a big one. Really big.
So just that we can recap. So everybody that's thinking like, wait a second.
How did this
if
just
I have
transition to gut health?
allergies, right? If I have the runny nose, the itchy eyes, the mucus, right? And they're all like coughing and we're sneezing and it's like, oh my gosh, my eyes, right? We're talking about allergies. It's not a bad thing. It's also not always a good thing.
It's not a comfortable
right?
thing.
It's not a comfortable thing. But yeah, this is the outset of the allergy, but we're talking internal. We're talking gut.
We're talking gut. We're talking exposure. Now, I want to hold space for this. If you're outside walking around and you get a massive gust of air and dust and pollen and everything blows into your face, your body is going to make your eyes water up. It's going to make you sneeze. It's going to make you...
That's what we want.
Because it's trying to get it out.
Those are our soldiers, right? Yeah. Like that's what we want. That is the protection. Those are the defenses that our body has.
Exactly.
These are good things.
It's a defense
although
mechanism.
Uncomfortable.
Yeah, extremely uncomfortable. I mean, being someone that's like I suffered is a true thing. Like I dealt with this. Like I specifically remember I had a really bad grass pollen allergy when I was a kid. Like literally had an allergy to pollen from the grass, our grass in our lawn. So I would be out there every week cutting the lawn for my dad with literally eye goggles on, and I had a freaking face mask on, or I had a bandana wrapped around my face. This is pre-COVID. This is like 1994.
That's how people are normal now.
You know, that's how. Yeah, apparently that's normal. That's over with, by the way. Sorry, but that's just really frustrating. So understanding that and having to deal with that, and then being put on different things to shut down the receptors in my gut. Like that's what I was put on. I was put on different medications. Now, we are not medical doctors by any means, and this is not medical advice, and we will never tell you to not take a medication.
But again, if we translate this again, because I'm the visual person, that'd be like, you know, you see these people, these terrible bad people, they're coming to your house, right? Are you going to open the front door and let them in?
Well, if or are we going to fight,
or are we going to close that door, maybe boost something, so we're going to like turn the security system on, we're going to maybe put an extra like a door bolt, right? Like that's allergies.
It is allergies, and I'm going to come back at that. I actually think learning self-defense to defend yourself in your house is super important. Super important. So if I learned how to defend myself, now granted, I'm not going to open the door and let the person in. But if I know they're coming in and I've learned self-defense and I can mount a defense and defend my home besides just board up the walls and board up the windows. Walls are already boarded up. Board up the windows and lock the front doors and just hoping they don't break in. But if they do break in, do you actually have the defense mechanisms to defend your home and fend these people off? And that's where it comes down to micro exposure. What they call it in medicine, they'll call it microdosing. When they're doing food allergy testing, and then when they do actually food therapy, which is they'll do allergy shots. Like they will literally inject you with the allergen.
Or the kids that have peanut allergies, right?
Yes,
then
they
give you the
microdose.
peanut to start to eat that to see.
And it's like 1/2000th of a peanut. It's like a speck of peanut dust. And what they're doing is they're trying to build children up to these food allergies. It's the same thing with pollen allergies. Is you can microdose your body into now perceiving the environment as non-foreign, perceiving that pollen coming into your body as normal. Still mount the defenses it needs to mount and get rid of it and all that kind of jazz, but get rid of those irritants in a normal fashion without making you have hay fever and can't sleep at night. And yeah, because fever is a true thing. Like you can get fever from an allergic reaction, even from pollen. Because if your body sees the foreign entity as foreign enough, it will mount an immune response and it will mount fever. Not a good thing at all. So microdosing, if I'm going to go and learn judo or kung fu to whoop some butt and some taekwondo or karate at the local dojo, I'm going to do the same thing, microdosing and exposing myself to the element. Now let me ask you this question because I know how you're going to answer. What's one of the best things to microdose your body to pollen?
Oh, good. Because I was like, when can I say this? Like this is where honey comes in.
Yes.
But it's got to be
what kind of honey?
A local honey. So this is where like you make friends with your farmers. the beekeepers, maybe some people that have like a landscaping business or like the flower places that lots of times they're going to have, or if you're driving and you're like, why is that box sitting out in that field? Chances are those are beehives, right? So you need to find the people that have the local honey, because then that local, right, that's the local pollen. And I was thinking through this and I'm like, that'd be the same thing of like, okay, everybody's doing the raised gardening, right? So the raised garden beds or just gardens in general, and you start to eat that produce. And each time that you're out there, when you see the flowers, like bring some of the dandelions in, rub them on your skin a little bit, then go in. You just need, we're talking you have the yellow all over.
I'm smiling because it took me back to a kid. When I was a kid, we used to take it and like put it under your eyes and like put it on your hands because it was like yellow paint.
Correct.
From
but
dandelions.
I can guarantee those kids then had a heightened immune response, or a better immune response.
Better immune response, decreased hypersensitivity, right? Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I think there is tremendous Ayurvedic and medicinal help or benefits to honey. Honey is incredible. Not the stuff you get at stores, like you said, but I want to come back to that because you can, like, honey is all over the shelves. You can get white clover, all these different honeys, but the biggest thing is you want raw and you want organic and you want local. It's got to be local to your area because then you get local plant exposure. If you really wanted to get crazy and you knew you were going to Florida for the spring, you would get honey from Florida, from the area you're at, sent to you over the winter, and you would eat that during the winter. So your gut is used to that exposure, and it decreases, and it works incredibly well. It works incredibly well. Getting your body used to those exposures, getting used to the pollen, and to be honest with you, honey comes in so many different shades, colors, flavors, different types. You can taste the different types of plants that were used to pollinate, the different types of flowers. And yes, there's clover. They love lavender.
We've had super dark. We've had hives out by us, and we've had the honey come back like almost translucent.
Yeah, super clear,
yellow,
super
and we've had some like really, really dark,
looks like amber, it looks like molasses,
brown color,
and that stuff's really good too. It's super rich. And the other side of this is when you're preparing honey and you're putting honey into your foods, you don't want to actually overheat it. It will denaturate it. It will break it down. Defeats the process. You are better off taking a tablespoon, shoving it in your mouth, and eating it. Honey is awesome for that. Honey also helps with controlling blood sugars, despite what people will tell you. It is a natural form of sugar. Yes, it's very sweet, but it does help. Same thing with chromium, same thing with cinnamon. Like, there's a lot of things that people can put in for gut health that can really help them out. Now, the other thing that we see extremely successful is our line of profession.
Absolutely, chiropractic. Are we going to come back to some nutrition stuff?
Let's go into nutrition right now.
So the other thing, so we're talking gut health, right? And I think people immediately think like stomach, digestion, but ultimately your liver is the detox agent.
Liver,
and so
super huge.
Just want to be super clear on that your liver needs to be in optimal processing. So when you're taking those things in, everybody like used to be like at the trend of like leaky gut, like, okay, how do we fix that? Everybody thinks of probiotic. Probiotics should just be a temporary use. They're not long-term. You shouldn't be using them all the time.
Right.
We need to really start to focus on liver. When our liver gets stagnant and it gets backed up, that's when other things start to get backed up. That's when immune systems go down. That's when allergies become more of a problem. And then we have the boogers, the watery eyes, itchiness, all of those things.
Yep.
But yes, the one thing that aligns all of these things is chiropractic.
Well, I go back to that epigram saying that B.J. Palmer supposedly had wrote, but I think it's just in life that the quality of life for a person depends on the liver. And that's a two-way street. That is what you're grateful for in yourself internally.
To understand that.
And then it's also on your liver. And like you said, stasis is a big thing. The liver in your body's liver is your oven. It produces and makes tons of things. And also, if it's cooked long enough, breaks things down. Your liver is incredibly important. It is the largest organ in your body besides your skin. So it's incredibly important for detoxing, regulation, and for production.
But
Super important.
liver handles everything. Like we're talking about the allergies, and I'm only because I discussed this with patients this week, but it's the allergies, right? Okay, well, what's your liver doing? I have really bad acne. Well, what's your liver doing? I need to lose weight. Great. What's the liver doing?
Yeah, and with allergies, they want to come back and treat the gut. Like if you go and see an allergist and they work with you, the number one thing they're going to talk to you about is leaky gut. They'll talk to you about leaky gut with autism, ADD, ADHD, focus issues, but they never actually fully talk about the liver. The liver comes before the gut, and the gut's not the stomach. The gut is your intestinal tract, and your liver is an important component into intestinal tract regulation. It's the main regulator besides your brain. So coming back to now chiropractic, super important. Your brain, you've heard us talk about this before, and we'll talk about it ad nauseum because this is what we do. Your brain's your supercomputer that runs every nook, cranny, and cell of your body. Everything is regulated by your brain. Very few things are not. Very few things. So your brain has to control everything. Your gut is 100% controlled by your brain. What do you think gets your body to mount the allergic response once your gut's been exposed? Your brain. It has to come back. And that's the beauty of cranial nerve 10. Everybody talks about this vasovagal response, and if you're involved in the neurodeflective world and you have children that are on the spectrum or have ADD, ADHD, you've heard about vasovagal tone. You've heard about the vagus nerve. You've heard about cranial nerve 10. But everybody talks about cranial nerve 10 and its ability to calm the body. That's what it talks about. But the reason why it does that is because 80% of it is for relay back to the brain. It communicates back to the brain. So when you have exposure in your gut, that amazing nerve then sends signals back to the brain that says, hey, you need to send stuff now to fix this area. You need to send stuff for help. You need to help.
It's the central command center.
It is the central command center that regulates everything. And as long as with chiropractic, if we can keep that communication clear, just like the stasis in your hepatic system or liver system clear and working properly, your body is healthier and it will function amazingly well. So what we want to do with allergies, clean up your diet, get some good honey in, and understand that when you have these allergic responses, that's your body communicating with you, telling you that, hey, I'm under attack, I'm under duress. What are the things that we can do both short-term and long-term to get this from stopping to happen in the first place?
Right. So, of course, chiropractic is going to be that foundation for us. We already mentioned local honey.
Yep.
But that's where supplements play a really, really big role with this. And
short-term and long-term.
Short-term and long-term. So ultimately, right, we don't want to ever be placed in a situation of like, oh my gosh, this allergy is happening. But we get to that point for us to realize, okay, maybe I do have some issues. So in that short term, to like put the fire out, Antronex works really well.
Yep, standard process. We'll have that in the links below.
Because, and if you read the bottle, it's liver, right? We talk about liver. But this is one of those things that, okay, if like we just talked about the science behind it, if we can get that liver functioning, that liver working, it's going to allow our body to be able to mount a response for us to better handle and adapt to our outside world.
And the other product we use is Allerplex. And you can get a natural dehistamine, but I would just use Allerplex or fenugreek.
Allerco, fenugreek.
Yep. We'll put links for this all below in the notes for you if you need to go there. Echinacea as well. That's one though that we need to really understand too. That can be a whole different episode on itself. Echinacea is a flower. So we can get into all of that in the next episode.
It's overwhelming, right?
It is overwhelming.
That's where we're here to help you navigate, to figure out the right things that are best for you and what kind of response your body is having.
Basic steps. Basic steps, one step at a time, leads to you covering miles in your health journey in a very short period of time. And then you'll look back and realize you're way healthier because of it. So that is literally allergies to pollen in a nutshell. We will eventually break down food allergies too at a later date. But right now we just needed to understand this allergy season because all of you are getting your butts kicked by birch pollen, pollen, and it all needs to be taken care of.
Should be exciting this time of year.
So, anything else, Dr. Julie? if you found this incredibly helpful, share this episode with a loved one. Share it to the people in your lives that you know that can benefit from some of these easy things that we gave you, and share them this podcast. Get them to be a part of it. Click that thumb below. All of those likes, all of those shares actually help us out an absolute ton in getting this information out to more and more people that desperately need it. So take care, everybody. Have a great day. Go out there, get it done. Bye, everyone. That was good. Okay.